Wednesday weekly roundup, and we got a lot to talk about. But I ain't on my own this week. I brought in help for this one because I think I need it. It's going to be an interesting one to go because there's a lot to talk about. We got some interesting topics we're going to talk about, i.e., sorry, I'm laughing because I can see my guest, and we just had something to get us ready and pumped for the opening of the stream on somebody else's stream, we know, and it's kind of funny. We will talk about that in a bit, but he's going to come on, he's going to help me. If you What Talking Went Through podcast, you already know who this is. Bob 1234, is it 123? Got it right. It is the man, the legend, the myth, the voiceover man for me, who I still need to pay at some point. Worko.
Yeah, where's my money? Where's my money, punk? Like that. Where is it?
What? I'm sorry, Brian. No money for you.
For you. How's your week been? Let's do that. let's ride the copyright line, or if that's the right word.
I'll get a letter from Dexterity Bot this season to this, and I'll get replaced. But yeah, my week's been good, thanks, man. I've got a lot of things going on, which we spoke about. I think stuff that I can't actually say yet until it's done and ready. Once it is, it'll be good. It's been busy. It's been good. Wednesday could have been doing a bit busy. I would have liked the views, because I'm a view whore now, apparently.
Of course,
but yes,
absolutely.
How's your week been?
It's been good. It's been good. I'm just laughing, sorry, because I've had another story to tell you about being at the gym. The same guy who said that I look like Johnny Bravo if he was brunette and had a beard, came up to me the other day when I was doing some deadlifts and some squats. And he just came right up behind me, looked at me dead in the eye via the big wall mirror that's in front of it, and just went, "You shit with that ass." And I just walked off and started doing his own thing. I thought,
you've got a very weird relationship with people at your gym.
First I'm Johnny Bravo, and now this. What is going on? What is going on?
Yes. We've got a lot to talk about on this week. We're not going to do the Sunderland game. There's no point. But we will talk about the Charlton game, and it was Charlton, wasn't it? The Charlton game and the Peterborough game. But we'll just start with the Charlton game. I thought we did okay. I thought we played decent. Charlton were a very good team. We soaked up pressure and we won ugly. Something Absolutely. I think we've all wanted to happen.
Absolutely. Unless you're a certain part of the Sheffield Wednesday Twitter community, which also last year, bear in mind, were saying we need these ugly 1-0 wins where we actually aren't really on top, but we somehow managed to scrape the 3 points because of a little, iffy goal somewhere along the lines. We did that. And these same people this year, sorry for the voice crack, and these same people this year are then abusing us for it, saying, no, you should have been dominant all game. What are you doing? That it's not good enough. He's out of his depth. He doesn't know what he's doing. It baffles. It baffles. Announce Adti Nuiu. He's actually, you know what? He's actually doing really well in the. What is going on with my voice today? It's like going.
You hit puberty again.
I must have done. My I'm growing hair in places that I've never grown hair before.
He's a real boy.
In my ears. I'm turning into an old man because I've grown hair out my ears now. It's great.
Hey, watch it calling people old men. I am one of that fraternity.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can start seeing a few greys. Just
wait till you have kids.
Hey,
I'm just.
Bob.
Rob's here. There he is.
Here he is. You guessed correctly. Hello.
You did guess correctly.
You guessed correctly.
But yes, this week been interesting because let's just go on to the Peterborough game. Because to be fair, it was a good build up by Backinson, your football manager.
Yes.
The person you always sign and stuff. And I thought it was great to see Windaf playing in his natural position. Hey, it's Mr. Door on Tour. How are you, my dude? Long time no see. You're clubbing it in League One, I see, from Premier League. But, and by the way, what a signing White Gibbs did. That is an amazing signing.
Gibbs White. White Gibbs
you know what I mean.
Else. There is probably a player called White.
You know
Gibbs
what I mean. If anyone's here knows that I talk weird and get things wrong.
Absolutely.
But the only thing I fear that he's overpaid, but 150 million in so far of what you've spent is ridiculous. So I hope it works. But let's talk about the Peterborough thing, because up until the red card, I thought we did okay. I thought
Sheffield Wednesday, up until that red card, were playing some of the best football they've played in the last a year and a half, pretty much. And then the red card happened, and it all just kind of fell apart. That's what happened. And then, for some reason, there was just this colossal meltdown saying it was the worst
into a workout stream.
What do you mean? Turn into a workout stream?
Complete collapse. If people don't know, Worko has a Twitch channel. I will share it now so people can see.
Oh, thank you.
Because I like to support my friends.
Oh,
I would.
Isn't he cute, guys? Isn't he cute? Look at this. Oh, how lovely.
So that is Worko's Twitch. Get him up to 200 for when he comes back. I'm
literally so close to 200. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, please get him up to 200 followers.
Not as a statement to be like, oh, plug, yes, follow me now.
No, it is a bit of a plug. I like to sort of support my friends, and let's get him up to that 200. So when he comes back streaming, he got like a lot of people to come and watch, and he's really cracking it. And this year will be his year where he cracks on and gets going, because he got a lot that's going to happen. And you support your friends.
Oh, you're a Mac user. Oh,
I am a Mac user. You know that. I am a Mac user.
Guys, can we get like an F in the chat or something for the fact that he's a Mac user? Come on, it's Windows, surely. No, Apple will not be sponsoring anything I do going forwards, will they? Oh boy.
But yeah, what did people think about the card for starters in the chat? And we'll see what you think. What do you think it was? Because for me, it's a red. It's a red card. Boots high. It is what it is. Hang on, that's the wrong screen. You can tell I haven't used StreamYards in a while. I want to try and figure out how to do it via Discord and play with some OBS settings and do it that way. But when you have a 4-year-old, you don't get much free time to just mess around without like trying to sleep. If it is a red, the one after on Gregor. Yeah, I agree. I think the one on Gregor was a red too. The problem is that's the issue with officiating these days, especially lower league. The lower you get, the worse it is.
It's very inconsistent. And
the problem is League 1 and League 2 tend to get refs who are from like non-league who want to like step up. But that being said, I completely understand that people have got to get their chances in the upper tiers and they're going to make mistakes. But the issue is you want it to be consistent. Like if anyone's seen the Nigel Pearson meltdown he had, he's going to quit football very shortly. I'm guarantee it. He's going to quit.
Arguably, Bristol City might be his very last job, and then he's gone, and then he's out the door, retiring to his house near Sheffield, wherever it is that he lives, and just happily observing and maybe even being the pundit from time to time.
Oh, can you imagine him and Graham Souness on the same Guy Sports studio?
That would be spicy.
Let me read some spicy stuff. Dawn Tour, go beat Everton. I agree with that, but I do like Everton. So he Dawn Tour, we tour around the door. Soon we are the shit. Joe, I like that. Red for me, it was high and late. Like me rising. Oh, I forgot I can do that. I can show them on screen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Evening, Martin.
Evening, Martin.
See, I don't use StreamYards. I do other stuff. But it is one of those things. I think after that, we did okay for certain section of the game. But then Stockdale, I still think Stockdale's the right keeper. But for me, Stockdale, he doesn't trust Iorfa yet. He's not an Iorfa fan yet, and I think that's it. He looked better when Iorfa wasn't there, but that's going to come in time. I don't know what you think. I think that's building up a relationship with your back 3/4.
Mm-hmm.
Please go to a back 4, Darren. Please. Okay,
think,
go on. Why do you not think a back 4?
If we had more players, then I think the way that it is right. This is going to start. This is actually a whole topic I wanted to talk about as well. Right, so. At the minute, with the players we've got in, we need to still be a back 4, I think. If we had more central defenders, well, and, more left backs, but that's a whole other argument. If we had more centre halves, then absolutely back 3. But with the very limited amount we've got, through injury, through whatever else, a back it needs to be 2 of them because, quite frankly, there's no cover anymore. I mean, granted, the guy's coming from Cardiff. The name slipped my mind completely.
Mark McGuinness.
That's the one, Mark McGuinness. He's coming from Cardiff, and fair enough, right? If we had him, that's the 3 sorted pretty much.
Yeah,
and
it's sounding like from Moore's interview today, Femero's injury isn't as long as it sounds. It's not an out for the season kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's making me think we're probably gonna be out. Sorry, I just see something.
Yep. Is it the private chat? Yep.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
But I need to check that after this. But it is one of those things where if Femero gets back, you then got the ability to go to a back 4. Which will be perfect. And yes, it was annoying to concede the goal when we did. And I thought Darren Moore's explanation on the after the game and in his press conference today was really well done and fantastic question by Joe Cran. Really was a good question to say. Explain it in non-layman terms for people. Apologies, you can hear me. I'm trying to get my extending cable thing for my headphones so I can go get a drink from in here. But it is that situation where you look at it and the way he explained it was really well. And at the end of the game, he said, "Look, when we were conceding last year, it was set pieces. It wasn't from open play. The goal we scored this time are from open play. So on set pieces, we're static and we're able to do that now. That's why we got the 6'4" to 6'6" as defenders in. That is the reason why we got it." Let me have a look at Leif Johnson can play in his rightful position. Yeah, that's true. Let's see what Joe put in. Not that one. Joe Johnson's the worst left back. Right, Joe. Last year, we were praising him for doing a good job at left back.
At left back, yeah, exactly.
The thing is, I think you've got to remember, he probably trained all season of being a left winger to bomb on.
Yeah.
Then being told that you're going to go back into a position you're not used to after a bit, it's different. I think you've got to go with, you can't say that, oh, he's the worst ever. I can name a lot worse. And Adam Reach wasn't the worst either. Adam Reach could do it at a push, but it's not his natural position. That's what I'm saying. If it's his natural position and he makes a mistake, then you can criticize him all you like.
Exactly.
But he's not his natural position. He does an okay job. I will say, that second goal where he ducked his head, I was bitten feathers. Just put your head in and get a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
I know that means he would be out, but still get a concussion. It would stop the goal. It's one of those things you have to take it all with a pinch of salt. And I think this is the earliest I've ever seen the Wednesday fan base have a meltdown 4 games in.
I don't understand the meltdown though, because we're doing very well. In the league, everything. We're not in the relegation spots.
Yeah, but with Sheffield Wednesday, we should be pissing the league away.
If we were aiming at the relegation spots right now, if that's where we were, meltdown understandable. But we're not. We're still very much up there. It's mental.
4 games in. We've got Bolton at the weekend, and we've had the injury. And the thing with the injury, I got really annoyed with so many people going, "Oh, it's the training ground." No, it was on the pitch. It was an on the pitch injury. Mm-hmm. It was what Darren Moore said he can't control. If it's at a training ground or at Hillsborough, still can't control it if it's on the pitch at Hillsborough, if it's in a game, but you can try and figure it. What you put here, Joe? Joe, you are angry today. What's wrong, mate? Calm down.
You are very angry. Are you okay, Joe?
Oh, I know it's more team bingo.
You seem very angry today.
What can Moore do apart from what he's doing at the minute? Because we don't have our 2 out-and-out strikers, if you're going to go down the selection, are Lee Gregory and Smith. Well, Smith is only just started training. Lee Gregory's probably about 3 or 4 yards off being fit.
Yep.
He's still not there. You've got Windass when he plays that position,
but he's not
isn't a striker. He even says on Twitter himself, he's an attacking midfielder. I agree with what you just put there. Yes, announce Newhill. Yeah, that'll make me very happy and leave when he'd have a field day.
He'd have a field day. He's doing very well in the Australian Bundesliga. In the Austrian Bundesliga.
Yeah. I was say, when did he go to Australia?
They all laugh like Big Dave. Hey, yeah.
Don't call him
We
Big
love
Dave.
Big
You'll
Dave,
get
didn't
nutted. He didn't. He never liked Big Dave. You've got Patterson, who's not a striker, but he does what Fortieri used to do, which was harass. He used to be in people's faces.
Yeah.
And that's something you can say we don't have. For all these people saying, oh, he's not going, he don't do anything. He's the reason we scored versus the second goal versus Sunderland by chasing down and doing that harrying. The one thing I will say, we lack pace. We lack so much pace in that squad, and that's something I think we do need to bring in. Let's have a look.
Windass and Silaso are probably the most pacey players at the club right now, I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
I would probably
Joe,
say.
he was the first name on the team sheet as a winger. When the game started, Reece James was the left back.
Mm-hmm.
So your argument, you're right. He should be the first name of the winger. And he was.
And he was.
So
he was the first name as the winger.
But when those things happen, you've got to change it. I would say probably Patterson going off and keeping Byers on would have been a better move, but I understand why he did it.
You know what? By the way, Martin, we're of the same mind here because I was thinking the same thing today. That I think he'd be quite good as like a battling central midfielder.
The performance, the fact that we had the best one in the league, the biggest budget. How do you know we have the biggest budget? How do you know?
Where have you got this information from? Like we have the biggest budget.
I don't know the budget. Jack doesn't know the budget.
It's not public knowledge.
The thing
is this year.
You're doing the typical Wednesday thing of going, we're Sheffield Wednesday, we should be higher where we are. We did it last season when we started and stuff. Let's just see what happens. 4 games in, it's a long time. It's a long season, and you gotta be. There's a lot of people who don't like Darren Moore for whatever reason. A lot of people don't think he's the right manager or stuff, even though we got 4th last year. In his first full season, might I add, somebody said on Twitter, 18 months have been in 2 seasons in charge. He hasn't had 2 seasons.
He's not, because when he did come in, let's not forget, he was on the sidelines for quite a chunk of that first, the relegation season because of that really bad case of COVID he had and the blood clots on his lungs. And Jake and I both think if that had not have happened, potentially we might not have got relegated because potentially he would have had earlier to get into the players' heads and motivate them more. And actually, we might still be in the championship if he hadn't have had that really bad case of COVID. And then for him to he's had no break over the summer break. He's been entirely Wednesday focused. I think because Jake's got contacts and stuff. And he said that they just went to the Lake, was it the Lake District? Lake Windermere?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that for a weekend. Didn't go on holiday, returned to Sheffield, entirely Wednesday focused. He never took his mind or his efforts off of Sheffield Wednesday the entire summer. He's just been Wednesday. I am going to get back to your comments, people, but I do want to go to Bum That Zoot because last year we spent more in wage and transfer. What transfer? We couldn't spend any transfers. We couldn't buy anybody. It was all free
wages,
transfers.
yes, we probably did. Transfers, no, because we couldn't do a transfer. We were like mini embargoes, either by the club or by Chansiri himself. So we'll go to Joe here. Announce New Hugh.
Announce New Hugh. 100%.
Don't think New coming back. Is it? No, he's not. It's just a running joke. Still early door, people. Yeah, very much
exactly.
So.
Exactly, Martin.
Silaso needs a chance. I agree with this. Silaso does need a chance. I think he's a player who could do really, really well given a good run of games. He got it.
He's not going back to the Netherlands now. I would say maybe in January, maybe not. But I think that he has now got the time.
This is the season to put himself in the shot window because he got a year left.
Absolutely.
This is what Jack said earlier, playing with the CDM. That probably would be a better position for him. He probably wouldn't get many cards either. The only thing that gets Patterson cards is when he runs, he's got his mouth. Him and Bannon are terrible for getting yellow cards just for being very openly honest.
Yep.
Joe, I agree with you.
I like that.
It's a good way of putting it.
Joe needs
get those likes that people like. DJ said, thank you for the people who are modding actually, because workers actually normally are modding this. So normally, and also let me know if you like this idea of having somebody else on to do the Wednesday weekly thing, because it's a lot easier to do when you've got someone else to bounce off than doing it yourself. And it also
do
helps
agree.
me. So if I do like have a fit, my missus can put in Jack and go, well, it's my channel now. We're going to talk about Star Wars.
It's mine now.
Yeah, let's have a look. I think Patterson is quite bad a lot of time, but never someone who has. It's one of these things. Patterson gets a bad run in terms of the fans because people keep thinking the striker. He's lifted down. When we got him, Gary Monk got him to be a striker.
Yeah.
He falls into the same category Palmer does, but in a worse sense because he can play anywhere. Like,
don't be putting Big P down here, all right? Big P.
I would go get my shirt, but
is a god amongst men. He can play anywhere.
He can. But you notice this is what Darren Moore likes.
Yes, he likes players that can.
The big word, and it's the same word in the what is it? Arsenal or nothing. They like versatility players, and to be fair, it's starting to turn into if you've got that in your game, you're probably more likely to do better in this day and age than being a set position. So the thing I love about by the way, did anyone see the Jenga stuff the social media team did today? I thought that was class. More of that. I want more. This is what I want our social media team to do. That makes me happy because it's up to date, it's modern, it's
the media side of the club. Don't get
new. We'll get on to that later. Don't worry.
That's a topic for later on in the stream.
Yeah. I love Dan Moore, just need time. Yeah, I don't think it needs time. I think it's just more. It's more let him get off. Judge him after 10 games. Judge him after 10 games.
You've got to say as well, right? Darren Moore has had to come in and he's had to rejuvenate the entire culture of the club because after Carlos left, it fell apart in the back room. In the back behind the scenes, away from the pitch, everything fell apart. It was a dreadful place to be, culturally, everything. And Darren Moore has had to come in and repair the Monk era, repair the Joss era before that, repair the baggage from that, repair the baggage that then dragged on to the Gary Monk era, repair the baggage that then dragged on to Steve Bruce was fixing it, and then he created even more baggage of just saying, right, sod this, I'm off to Newcastle, bye guys. So there was baggage from that. There was baggage from Tony Pulis. All of that negativity, he's had to come in, get rid of all of that, and get this whole fresh new take. He's had to probably repair the relationship of the fans with Mr. Chancery, because Mr. Chancery, after all of the slating that he received all over social media, and I do believe that he said as well about, losing out on the 9-figure sum because of what social media was going on. That's a very believable thing because the players read it, sponsors read it. That's potentially it could have scared away a lot of sponsors as well.
We know Stockdale and Dawson read it. They laugh about it because they made jokes about it.
They laughed about it in a post-match conference, didn't they? So
I like it from Susan as well because I think Jaden Brown, this is the year to show what he can do. I think he constantly got hit after that Harrogate game, but he looked very solid versus Sunderland. And like Darren said, he was the unsung hero in that game, really.
Yep.
And it's one of the big pieces of man. He is. He also likes fishing, which is weird. He got the proper old man vibe going already. And I'm all for it. And he's only 27.
The flat cap, flat cap vibe. Yeah, 100%.
I don't think Darren actually. The thing is,
I don't think he wants to know what his best 11 is.
I understand that, Steve, but I also think there's a part of me that's. I'm going to read that in a minute. The part of me that thinks that with Darren, he's just trying to work. I think he plays situational football. So if you don't know what situational football is, very much something that gets said in American football. You play for what situation happens in a game. Exactly. And if you notice, Darren Moore doesn't, he is a tinkerer. And I will say this, that annoys me. I will say for me, that annoys me. I don't like this tinkering. If there's one team beaten one team the following week, keep that team. Just keep it going, confidence-wise. I'm not a big fan of the tinkering, but he plays game by game. He plays team for what the situation is. And as you've seen that a lot last season when he was making changes. We got to remember, last season, we didn't have a solid back line up until Dean and Story to a point. And probably just Story. And the thing is, if we're wanting to go down the lines of, like, I think he's already had, Stockdale in front of him already had 2 or 3 different lineups in front of him already. That's going to take time. And people are going to go, I don't like the gelling factor. I hate this, the gel. But but it does. It needs to gel. So I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I think Darren Hoddy doesn't like to have it where it's the same team each week. Kind of thing. He'll play for what it is. But we'll see. Starting lineup for Saturday go. We'll do that later.
That is another thing. We have a plan. Do not worry, Speed. We have a plan.
We are turning to accuse FC Moore, have been backed publicly, financially, and been given all the tools to the job. He has performed, and now so far since
he's not been given all the tools for the job. He's been restricted from having all of the tools for the job.
I'll put it this way, Buns. This is your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. That's fine. And we've all got them at the same that goes. Let's just. I'd rather not flag a manager off for games in, 10 games in, and if it's the same thing, yeah, I'll be like, well, that's got to change. This is not good enough. But at the same time, you've got to remember he did get a fourth last year.
Yes,
he did get a fourth last year with a makeshift defense. And you could say I'm turning into Excuse FC again with Darren Moore, but at the same time, am I a manager? No. Is Jack a manager? No. I don't know if you've got qualification for a manager. You might do. If you are, how you do it better. We can all be the FIFA football manager in like social media, but at the same time, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know what. At the end of the day, let's remember the people in charge are human.
Exactly.
They're not robots. They read things. So let's just be a little bit more respectful to each other. For one, those are the fan base and the players and thing. I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I think we are so much that team that we're here in everyone's opinion. We should be here and fighting it all the time. I said it before. We're not a good team at being the pace setters. We're better when we're chasing.
Exactly.
From February to April, we were chasing that pack and managed it. Let's just calm down a bit. It's one loss. Let's see what we're like in November. If it's still not great in November, chances may have to pull the plug on it. But you can't keep changing the manager every 18 months.
Exactly. And also, I would argue, who is there to come in and replace him that would do a better job right now? As things stand in the unemployed manager market, who would you get in? Because it's
don't say Nigel.
And I feel so silly even saying this because it's 4 games in.
Yeah,
but even so,
I want to give Cadamarchi
the whole,
I wouldn't mind putting Cadamarchi on loan in League 2, but then see what he does in January. Let's have a look.
I'll do the same thing with him as Alex Hunt last year, basically.
Hi Punk, I just want to let you know you're doing the community of Sheffield Wednesday fantastic. Keep creating the positive vibe. We all love it. Thank you, mate. I much appreciate it. I love doing these. And to be fair, this became a hobby just for my own sanity. And then it turned into this. 1 or 2 bad games and everyone's losing their mind. More who've given our team confidence. And if everyone got the start to a bad day, I agree. 100%.
Amy's comment needs to be on the screen right now.
Which one? I'll get to it in a minute. Here we go.
No worries.
Moore doesn't get credit for all the right things he's done. Soon as he makes one slight mistake or something that majority don't agree with, it's instantly turned to Moore out. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's actually really funny when you see the Moore out because they go very quiet when we're doing well. And you don't hear
when we do well, it just disappears. Exactly like it was with Carlos, if you remember that.
Yes.
Same
we're
story.
Lose a few games.
Exactly the same story.
No matter how good we are, we're not invincible, correct? We're not Arsenal. Don't do Twitter, so perhaps that's where the... Yeah, to be fair, Jez, you're improving your life by not having Twitter. Just don't.
You are causing yourself a lot less stress by not looking at the Sheffield Wednesday Twitter verse.
Yeah. But like I said, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm not going to say that someone's opinion is wrong. That's your opinion. So to bun that that's your opinion. I respect it, and you're more than welcome to it. But at the same time, there's some people like the reason why when I did the Peterborough game, I put in the comment section about the red card. I knew everyone was going to have a different opinion, and I knew it was going to be different. Kind of thing. I knew there were going to be some people that didn't like it, and I knew there were going to be some people that thought it was a red. I did not want people to have the situation of going, kind of thing, if that makes sense. Let's hope the ref can actually do their job. That would be nice, but I think you're acting a little bit too much.
We are in League One. Let's not forget. We're not getting the
there's no flying pigs
like
out
in
there.
The Championship a couple of years ago. We were getting some Premier League referees that dropped down because for whatever reason they had to drop down to the Championship. We're now getting either League One referees that have had, a good spell in League 2, so we're seeing how they do in League 1, or they've had a bad spell in the Championship, so you're dropping down and refereeing League 1 games this week, or just constant
I will
regular League 1 referees.
I'm really messing up your name because it's really screwing my dyslexia. Sorry that, Zoot. Because the first line, my N's are turning into M's, and I don't mean to. I'm not advocating sacking Monk. It's early day, but what I'm saying is that you need to see. Yeah, I agree. I do agree with that. 100%.
100%.
I 100% agree with that. I think we're going to have to see what happens. And like I said, he got to get it into him a little bit more. We got to start a little earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I will say something. I am very happy we stopped this, like, kicking it long at times from kickoff. We haven't done that for a while, which is nice. Let's have a look. My problem isn't more it's the new players. It feels like they haven't had time to gel. People need to remove. We have, that's very true.
Absolutely. Very, very true.
Thing is, we got it. The problem is we're going to have the same issue next year.
Because I've got a feeling if we do, no matter what we do, I think it'll be another big old refresh of players again. Because I think more as well as understood that's been a bit of an issue over the last few years. We've had lots of players just stick around far longer, probably, than maybe they should have stuck around. And there's not been a refresh. There's not been like a feeling of competition. It's always like, oh, well, we know who's being on the play on the team sheet because it's been the same for the last 5 years.
How much money do you think Hector will want? That's the issue. That's why you got an Owick and a
minimum. Minimum like 20 grand a week, possibly, but that's fine in the Championship. That's like the top what do you call it? The top like threshold in the Championship.
Yeah.
In the Championship. League 1.
You gotta remember Hewickway and Smith both apparently came to Wednesday because they turned down 10 grand and it was 13 to 14k at Wednesday. Remember that. That's just something you need to remember. So on the like I said about doing it next year, having to do it, this is the team that's out of contract next season. Stockdale, Iorfa, Reece James, loan, Jaden Brown, Jack Hunt, Liam Palmer, Adeniran, Fizz, Byers, Bannon, Johnson, Windass, unless extension, Patterson, Gregory. That's the first team.
That is a very good first team, I would say.
That's an entire 13 you're going to have to redo again. So I understand, and by the sounds of it, it does sound like Darren Moore's not wanting any more centre backs.
Yes,
he's looking on to other things. Do you think we should worry that other teams have got a turf strong like Ipswich, Bolton, Charlton, Derby? Derby, no. Really?
We worry at Christmas. That's the time to worry. Right now, doesn't really matter. Right now
go on.
Right now is the time to be picking up all of the 3 points that we will really, really need at the end of the season. It's at the end of the season that you always look back on this sort of time and think, oh, crap, if we'd have just beaten so-and-so, we would be second. Oh, or thank God we beat Charlton.
Thinking last really season,
crappy
Bolton
win,
game.
1-0.
Bolton, Cheltenham, Wimbledon.
Exactly.
No games that we threw away because the defence was a makeshift.
Exactly.
Ipswich, they were always going to start well because they're just finishing off where they came when McKenna came in. He's done well. Bolton manager always seems to be the one that slips up for them, not the player, because he says things and people go, we'll put that on our board. Done. That's my team sheet. Charlton, okay, they're doing okay so far, but they are on a rebuild themselves. And Derby are just a complete rebuild. Derby, I don't know what is, because Derby fans were very much, and they've been around that area, like, oh, we're going to smash people like Shrewsbury Town and stuff, and they didn't.
Well, my friends who are the sensible Derby fans understand that if they finish in the top 10, that's a very, very, very good thing for them. That's what they have said to me. So, but lots and lots and lots of Derby fans all over Twitter again. Twitter's a wonderful place. Anyway, all saying is HMS pissed the league. Haha.
Is it a full away stand from us? Probably will be. Probably. And even better because there's a, what do you call it?
That was so arrogant, wasn't it? Probably will be a full away stand.
It normally is. Unfortunately,
it normally is.
We had loans last season. Half the team had gone and replayed. Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
It's gonna be more the same from us. Probably. I offer Hector McGuinness what our defense needs. Yeah, but Hector and Dean, if you put Dean in that list, they're gonna be on lots of money. And you've already seen that Smith the chance that Yeah, Mr. Iorfa, who owns the club. Mr. Chansiri is already doing self-sustainability with the club. He's already said he wants it to be a little bit better. So let's see. Anything
and
that
also, I would argue as well against Dominic Iorfa because not anything. Wonderful player, fantastic player, loads of talent. But since coming back from the injury, he seemed a little bit scared to like actually fully commit to tackles and things. I don't know what it is, but I think it's maybe because isn't that how he got injured? Was like really lunging in for a tackle and the ACL snapped and stuff. And I think ever since then, he's been quite scared.
Jez, you're very true on that. The rebuild time, especially if you're going back up to Championship, you would have to have a rebuild anyway.
Exactly.
Do you have any suggestions to who you could have pace on our front line? We're absolutely crying out for it. Go on, this is workhouse department. Go for it.
Have a look at who's liked the Instagram post about us beating Charlton 1-0. There's a certain name in that list. Mr. Malik Wilkes, who scored 20 plus goals on both League One appearances. And I think, that deal's going to happen. It will happen.
It's going to be
it will happen.
Deal of the day.
Once again, not because it's because not for the reason of me always signing him on Football Manager, just like Tariq Backinson, but because he actually does offer a lot of pace. And
a lot of the players I would have gone for are gone. They've already gone. And the problem is, I think some of the players that we've been linked with or had talked about are the ones that, like Darren Moore said, were just about to sign him. And then his agent rang and the Championship opposition. What I would actually like Darren to do is look at League Two.
Yeah.
Pick some gems out of League Two. What Peterborough have done for years.
Yep.
And it's a good system.
I'm also still spitting feathers that we didn't get the lad that went to Portsmouth on loan. Why have I thrown a blank? Dane Scarlett. Scarlett. I'm spitting feathers that we didn't get him on loan, but then I understand why, because it's a very short train trip from London to Portsmouth for him. But he'd have to full on like move his whole life up here if he was to come from down there in Spurs, and I don't think he wants to leave London because I think he's a London lad. And
Joe, are you playing Palmer as a centre back?
I mean, he did well.
He did well. Dropping Hennigan and Awitway for Palmer to be centre back. I'd rather play a natural centre back in Awitway or Hennigan. To be fair, I understand. I get that. It feels like it's a bit of he's a homeboy kind of player.
Yeah.
Sentimental. But I understand it. It will be.
I do think it's quite. I think what's sort of like scuppered us a little bit in the injury with Famuo is that he was a ball playing central defender, whereas the other two now Hennigan and why am Awickway? What is going on? My brain's like a sieve today. And Awickway, they're just like no nonsense defenders. They just get stuck in. If in doubt, get it out. Old school, whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't think we would have Dominic Iorfa, but again, I think confidence is his issue right now. And so that's probably why he's only been on the bench quite a few times, because he needs to get that mental confidence back up rather than talent is still there. It's all there for everybody to see because we've seen it. It's just that he keeps hanging back whereas before he'd been marauding into tackles and then bombing on forwards and stuff like that,
What I'm going to do, I'm going to put the comments on the screen and we'll come to them when we see them and kind of thing, or we'll just have them up. But what I want to talk about is something. Jack made a good point about this when he did the Talking Wednesday podcast when we were talking about academy and like coaches.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So what I want to do is I'll throw this one to Jack. But before I do, I'm going to preface this with Darren Moore today in his press conference has said they're trying to make a clear path for youth teamers to get into the first team and show them what they can do. Now, Steve Haslam, he's got it all sorted, but I'm going to let Jack take this one because Jack got a very passionate thing on this one. So take it away, Workout, because this is something that's interesting with it.
Yes. So Mr. Steve Haslam was brought in to be the academy director because the previous guy left to go to Manchester City. Now, that was pre-COVID. And of course, COVID then happened very shortly after that, while we were trying to find a replacement academy director. And so Steve Haslam has just stayed in that role because we couldn't get anybody else in through the pandemic, all that sort of thing. Priorities were shifted around. Now, Steve Haslam went from being a manager of one of the youth teams into this whole academy director job. And a manager of a team is a very different kettle of fish, so to speak, as being an academy director. You have to oversee so many different things with that, more than just coaching players and just managing a team. He was very good at that. And in fact, he was just as good as that as the chap that's in charge now, Andy Holdsworth, who I think was his number 2 at the time. But he's then been shoved into this role that he probably didn't have a lot of experience before other than managing one of the youth teams. And he's done a fantastic job, but I do think going forwards, we need to have somebody that has that experience of actually being whole academy director, because they have to handle youth loans, they have to handle the intake of youth, all this sort of stuff. And the youth team managers just manage the players that they are presented with and things. Sorry, I'm just laughing at that comment because of your thing about Josh.
Cheers, Martin. Never gonna let that one down.
Thank you, Martin. So, I've been doing a little digging now. Dan Ashworth, who for many years was Brighton and Hove Albion's academy manager, is out of work right now, and he, in my opinion, would be an ideal candidate because their academy structure is exactly what Darren Moore and Mr. Chancery have now turned ours into. And I just think with how fantastic he alone managed to get that academy up to, I just think he would be ideal for this kind of job, or somebody like him, just purely because I think with all that's happened, we do need a bit of a fresh perspective on the whole academy setup. And I just think probably give maybe Steve Haslam the job of in the under 21s with Tomo again, because that's maybe where he's had a lot of experience now in that job of academy director, but I think he'd be more comfortable in just managing or co-managing a team rather than being the whole director of the academy, because you have to again handle all sorts of things with that are very much backroom staff away from the pitch level duties and things. And I just think that whole side of the club in general, everybody knows needs a bit of a revamp and things. And I believe things are happening behind the scenes to revamp all of that structure. But I do think there needs to be a lot of work done on that front. And because again, if you actually look at the structure of it, under 18s, absolutely fine, wonderful. Their setup is wonderful. But for so long now, the under 23s, which is now, of course, the under 21s, it's just been like a placeholder. It's been like just a holding area for the under 18s that have come in, and then, oh, well, what do we do with them now? Because they aren't good enough to step up to the first team yet. And instead of just so we've just held on to them, and then they've all just been released when they were too old for the under 23s because they weren't up to standard of the first team yet. But we need that same amount of coaches, everything that we have in the under 18s being put for us, the under 23s as well, because that's still a development stage. That's not just the under 21s, sorry, because that's just still a development stage. It's not a placeholder. Wait here for your turn in the first team. This is the gap. This is the bridge to the first team, not just a placeholder stage. You need to still be developing them at that age to then make the step up, which I think Darren Moore has understood, and that's why there's clear pathways now to the first team, because there hasn't been, quite frankly, for so long. It's just been a waiting area, just so that we can say, oh, we've got an under-23s team too. Look at this.
Well, this is quite an interesting one I'll just bring up James Taylor comment.
Oh, yeah,
we
absolutely.
spoke about it. When he started, he was playing wing. He went to wing back. Wing back's not in natural position. I think he'll need a little bit more time to get to the heights he will. I think he wants these players that get better as the season goes on. My question for you then: who are you starting then if you're not starting Johnson?
Who is the replacement of Johnson? Who would you put in there instead?
Just tell me who your replacement is, and then we'll go with it. Because it's all saying drop him. Who have we got who can play in that position?
I always say this too. If people are saying we need to drop so and so, who would you put in instead?
Yeah, who do you want?
Who would you put in instead? Who do you replace him with? That's currently in the team right now that you can't.
Now,
can't get anyone else. You know.
This goes on to what Worko was saying. Charles Hagan shouldn't have been a free.
Shouldn't have been a free. He should have either been coached more to get him up to first team, because that was clearly where the problem was. You know, Adi Edin as well, who's gone.
Who's doing very well at Atkinson.
My friend, I actually had a friend who was in the academy under Carlos, and he got released when he was in the under 23s for the same reason, because they didn't have any more. And he told me this: they had no more coaching after the under 18s. They were just, here's what it's like to play for a team, and then that's it. It was like playing for any other non-league club.
What I will say, when it comes to Johnson and Palmer, just think how much it's going to be interesting to see a front line of Smith and Gregory with crosses. Because the crosser Palmer are putting in at the minute are begging to be headed. And that's
Michael Smith would have a field day with those.
Yeah.
If he was fit.
Reece James when he's back. Yep. You're saying Reece James when he's back. Yeah. Right. Reece James was playing against Peterborough and Johnson was ahead of him.
Yes.
That kind of thing. Let's have
Johnson
a look.
was the winger in front of James.
Oh, James had come up with him. James on the left support with Palmer, play Gregory and so up front, and Windass out wide till James is back. That works. Actually, that does work. I'll give you that. That is a very good shout. That is a good shout. Lee, if you do that, you do have the aspect that Palmer can play back. He will go back and play that defense thing. James, I absolutely love your comment, because that's something I don't normally get.
Yes.
I don't normally get people coming back with this is what I would do.
Natural logic.
And I love it.
This is
and I really love it.
Great,
I appreciate that, James. That really does. I do appreciate it. And it wasn't me having a go. It's just I like people to come back with it, because it gets a good debate and interesting. And again, your opinion, my opinion, Worker's opinion, chat's opinion. Some people Twitter people's opinion, but some people Twitter people can stay where they are. Patterson will volley the crosses in. Remember the Cardiff goal? Yeah. Once he's up and running, that Cardiff goal wasn't the great. Is that the one that he hit into the ground?
I think so.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It's the one that he fully just volleyed.
Oh, it wasn't the one he fully unwhacked. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Windass is a cam. Windass is a cam that can cut in from the right, and he can play as a winger.
A left field idea I had the other day, right, with how Marvin Johnson plays, alternative for Windass at central attack and midfield.
That's not a bad shout.
But just purely because of how he plays and how good he is at, skinning players and all that sort of thing. That's just
the tactic board will be a brilliant idea right now, actually, mate. That is a good shout, Martin, and I will see if I can get it to work.
Yeah.
Because the tactic board is something that's normally used on a different.
Oh,
it is on a different system.
Yes.
I need to see if I've got the picture. Do I have the picture? Let me see if I can find the background I use. Worko, just do some filler for me.
Do some filler. What? How's your week, chat? Yeah. So, going back to the academy thing, I do think that's what Darren Moore has seen, because again, he wasn't happy. There's articles saying that him and the chairman both very unhappy with the academy and how it is, and I do think that they're trying to get it up to a standard that's where we want it to be. They want Mr. Chancery wants it to be grade 1. But the only issue is they've always had trouble. They've always wanted to extend. He's always wanted to extend Middlewood Road and get because there's that police training dog ground behind Middlewood Road, and they've always wanted to buy that. But the South Yorkshire Police have been very, very funny about the tactic board is up. Oh boy, but they've always been very, very, very funny about letting that land go, money or not. And it's the same with the Niagara.
Yeah, you're the best person to say it other than me, because I'll definitely mess it up.
And they've always been a little bit funny about it too. But that would be the perfect land space to have a whole training complex. But you know what would be really funny, right? Is and Mr. Chancery could afford it. Oh, we're playing with toys now, live on stream.
That is not the kind of stream.
And I've lost all composure now. Oh boy. Oh no.
I don't know. I've got
yes,
the red ones
Jez.
out.
I was careful. I was careful.
I don't need the red ones out. Right, guys, put a formation in that you like in the chat, and we'll see what we can work out with. What
we'll see who. Yes, what formation? Put a little.
Susan, formation, right. And we'll sort it.
I think that's a good idea. A new stadium as well. I'm very annoyed that we didn't buy Don Valley Stadium when it was available, because I think that would have been ideal, because the foundation's already there for it. It was a sports complex, but to just build up from that, the public transport link's far superior. There's actual car parking space, everything.
We have to deal with tram lines at Hillsborough.
But yes, that too. And the unfortunate thing is there's a lot of purists that don't think we should ever move away from Hillsborough. But the problem is all of those terraced houses, for what the chairman would want to do with the ground, which is probably turn the pitch round, I think, logical sense says that's what he would want to do, is turn the pitch 90 degrees, and then there's more space for stands and stuff.
Sorry, when you said turn the pitch round, my brain went, what? How?
Yeah, just flip it 90 degrees. So say it's normally in portrait mode, flip it to landscape mode, and then you've got more space to have stands and things.
Right. I'm guessing you're thinking like that, Susan.
Yes, I guess so.
4-2-3-1.
Yes.
Right.
Oh well, the two behind the striker are a bit wider, or maybe. Them two. Yep. There we go.
Because the problem is, I will make a new image for StreamYards for when I next do this, because it doesn't quite fit. Crops. It crops your image down, so I lost the actual bits. I'll remake it. So this is Susan's 4-2-3-1.
Yep.
Right, I will go with it. Lose 3-5-2.
Mm-hmm.
So hang on, 3. This is why this is difficult. This is not an easy thing to do. What people think it is. It's very, very difficult. 3-5-2.
It's 3-4-3 right now.
No. Yeah.
I'm just add one in. Add one into the mid. Yeah, there we go, and then put the middle one a bit further forwards or whatever. And
there you go. That's your 3-5-2.
3-5-2. Which is what it is right now.
God's sake, the wife is now watching.
Oh, Punky Horrors is now watching. Welcome in, Sarah.
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling. How are you?
It'll be a 3-5-2. I will prefer a 4-2-3-1. So we're pretty much sure that's going to be the formation.
That's the formation it is now. Literally, that's the current what Darren Moore wants it to be right now. Is how he sets it up.
And he has said though he's willing to go back to a 4 today. He has said he wants to go to a 4.
Look at that. Look at that. He's willing to go back to a 4, and he just flicks it back. Oh, sublime.
And then if he wants to go back to a 3.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Martin, honestly, I have no idea. I was just told to be here, mate. I was just told to be here and talk. I don't know what this is turning into.
So yes,
this is also a like the stream checkpoint. Let's get those likes up and get it out there in the Sheffield Wednesday algorithm.
Get a 4 at the back. What was yours? But Bun that. So God, dyslexia in your name does not help, mate. I apologize. I'll say your name wrong tonight. I do not mean it. Right. What was it? 4-2.
4-3-1-2.
4-2-3.
It wasn't. It was 4-2-3-1. I'm just messing with you.
Gate.
Just no erotic music. Yes, absolutely not. We wouldn't want that now, would we? Oh, Punky Horror says 5-4-3-2-1. What a 9-0-2-1.
9-2-1.
Nice.
Right. Let's have a look. All right, let me get some of these up so I can see. So I think that's yours one. Yeah. 4.
Yes.
4-2-3-1.
Yes.
A 4-4-3. 4-4-1. Oh.
4-4-1-1.
Okay. So that's that. Move them up a bit. By the way, please.
Would you like a diamond or would you like it flat?
Do you want a
Because
Christmas tree?
there is a diamond variant of that.
Right. Okay. League One at home, 3-5-2. No, but yeah, 3-5-2, which we've already done, and then a 4-4-2. Oh, I would like to see us do a 4-4-2. I'm not gonna lie. I'd like to see what we do with a traditional 4-4-2 and actual wingers. But then you go to think, what's our other wingers? We don't have any traditional wingers.
I guess Jaden Brown could be classed as one because that's where he played for Huddersfield.
That's what that
that's
Cable
the position he played at Huddersfield for, or whatever.
Sorry, I could see a Luke Cable. Like, what the hell's that Cable?
And we could do a real throwback with the winger situation and have Barry Bannon play on left wing because that's what Carlos made him do for a while. If you remember.
4-5-2. Okay. So go 4. Wait, what?
The old. Yes. This is literally the old Monday Night Football with
the lack of parking at Hill for
Andy
attending home games. It's worse than ever. Yeah, it is, and it's going to be even worse once that industrial site's been made into Costa Coffee and Audi and whatever else it is. On the 11th. Thank you. I knew my brain was going a bit mental.
11 outfield play. Yeah.
I could see my brain. You can't see, but my brain in the camera is like, what? What did this dream turn into? Yeah.
By the way, as well, James, I fully agree. A move away from Hillsborough is what the club needs, and I think maybe Mr. Chancery is waiting for a little bit, just so that the people who are the purists that say no, we can't move away from Hillsborough, so that they aren't in the picture anymore. To put it nicely, because a lot of them are of a certain age, from what I've been reading. And they are very traditionalists and very like, no, we need to stay at Hillsborough. But the infrastructure around the ground is not ideal for a football club. Maybe it is for someone lower down the leagues, but with how the club want to operate and where they're aiming at, like it's not, in the modern day, it's not ideal at all anymore. And they've also, haven't they sold off the, the Wednesdayite car park that was across from the ground? That's been sold off, hasn't it?
I think that's some of the stuff that's getting turned into like like Audi and Costa Coffee.
Yep.
Martin, I don't want to be associated with Andy Gray or Martin Tyler, considering what those two were like. So I think we'll stay away from that, me and Worker.
You'll never see anything like this ever again. Sorry. Anyway.
Turning into steps there. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it is actually. Yeah. Let's have a look. Just want to say, love the format of the show. Keep up the good work, lad. Thank you very much, Gab.
Thank you.
Chancellor should have bought that land where Costa is. He really should have done, but
I think to portrait mode, by the way, Punk, because it's still in the yeah. There we go. Sorry.
Can't extend the hill though. You can, but you would have to pay a lot of money getting the people's houses.
You'd have to buy out those, the terraced houses, and where the Chinese takeaway is as well, up to there. You'd have to basically buy them all out.
Hell of a lot of money.
Costs a lot of money, and relocation. The housing market in Sheffield is terrible right now.
Very true.
And probably will be for quite some time. So
true. That's actually not a bad shout.
Jez, I love you. I'm just saying.
Let's have a look.
Waiting for us to die.
Is Michael Smith back tomorrow? No, he's not. He's back in training, but he ain't back. He's probably going to be back. I don't think that all.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm just completely. Anyway.
Is that the name of your podcast that you're going to do on your own, Jack?
What?
Waiting for us to die. We're all Wednesday, aren't we?
Yes, how did you know? How did you know, Jake?
Just a quick one as well. How do people like this format? Because this can be something. If Workout got the time, I'd love this to be a regular thing. If you want to do it, I'd like to have someone else on to do it with me.
Want to beat? I'm kidding. Of course, I'd love it. If it's what people want, if it's what the people want, then I will make it so.
Yeah. It's what I'm saying. The people enjoy it. I definitely want to do it. I think it's a good little show that I like doing at the minute.
Yes.
And it'll be nice to have The problem with doing live streams is, especially when you do it on your own, there's so much
It's
stuff you
finding
want
it's
to
finding
say.
filler to talk about.
Yes.
It's difficult, mate. It's so difficult.
I know it's difficult. I've watched your streams. I've seen your filler. It's difficult.
Thanks. Are you trying to mock me? By the way,
No, I'm not trying to mock you at all. I wouldn't pay money to put my friends in outfits.
Sorry, to chat.
joke.
That was an inside joke about before this stream. I paid somebody that I'm friends with, who is also a streamer, £69 for him and his friend to wear maid outfits for the entirety of their stream from that point onwards. So there you go. Anyway,
I thought the title would be "I'm sorry, I'm just."
So worth it. Oh,
It turned from a Wednesday show to a Friday party show. Yes, it has.
Yes, it has.
I'm kind of in for it. The thing is, with these kind of shows, especially you've got someone else, I never really take the channel too seriously, because at the end of the day, I did this channel to help my F&D and all that kind of, chronically ill person, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that stuff.
Really? You're chronically ill? You've never mentioned that before.
Never mentioned. I don't talk about it.
Wow. Never.
I don't know if it'll show it. Look, that thing. But it's not people, but it's all good fun.
I'm not.
Great stream, thanks, guys. No, thank you. I appreciate your comment section. It's been really good, and I really love that the
debate stuff. It's great. Yeah,
it's great. This is what football YouTube should be, and sometimes
fun, a debate, but also fun, where everybody has a good time and laughs. And everyone respectful.
Would you have a text? I may actually buy one of them for a cabin. A cabin in the background.
Cabin? What do you mean?
Your cabin in your woods. You're turning into like one of those really.
We don't talk about the cabin in the woods, okay? That's a.
I didn't realize you were a bear.
But what
cabin
do you mean?
That's
a term for a certain.
I know what it is.
Unique little.
Well, if you want to call it little, that's on you.
Shut up.
But yeah,
so chat, if you're liking this stream today, hit the thumbs up.
To be fair, we have got to the hour mark, and normally when I do a podcast,
all right, bye guys. Yep, bye guys.
It does.
Good stream, bye guys.
It normally is the point where we get to the end of like podcast where we just lost it a little bit.
I'm hoping that Martin saying what is happening is him saying that while being in floods of tears from laughing so much.
I hope people have had this has been a bit of an entertaining stream, because I've enjoyed it, and thank you, Worker, for coming on. And you will be back definitely.
Thanks, Arnold. Thanks for telling me, Arnold. You will be back. Thanks.
You signed a contract. You will obligate your contract.
Contractually obliged. Oh no.
Did the transfer window?
Yes, this is an emergency loan right now.
Sorry.
You sent me on an emergency loan to the Dexterity Box Talking Wednesday podcast, which, in fact, listeners, and watchers, is out every Tuesday at 5 p.m. If not otherwise,
apart from not
delayed
this Tuesday,
from
because
people
it's
being
going
busy.
to be delayed. It could be out on probably Wednesday.
Yes.
I think there is a podcast coming out soon. We have recorded it. We're just waiting for it to go live, if it's not live now. I've had a busy week. I don't know what.
Oh, you've had a busy week, have you? Thanks, James. Thanks for letting me know, James.
So I had a haircut.
Sorry, love you. If you're watching Dexterity Box, James, we'd love you.
You said you want to go back on that show.
I'm never going back on that show now, am I? This is it. This is all done.
But, I don't know. I don't know what monetizing my face on laughing. I don't know if that's an insult or not.
Is that an insult?
I'm crying like Joe. I'm crying like Joe by a.
I mean, I know that we're both funny-looking fellas, but come on now, you know.
I'm crying like Joe by a case. Hang on, will this work?
Oh, have you got a soundboard now? Oh,
yes, I have.
Wow.
And I can make that noise as well, if you want. I've also got
that one too.
Hang on. I've also got
play it right now, but I've also
got this.
We're gonna pay for him.
That's what happens when you say, "Well, I've been on all of these episodes. Can I get a cut of this ad revenue, please, James?"
No, it's not. We don't
it's
say
not.
things like
It's
that.
not. I'm kidding. Anybody will know by now.
Oh, for God's sake, the balls are going in. I knew someone would clip that. It's one of those.
Anybody will know by now. Just a disclaimer of all of that shit I've just said. My sense of humor is very, very dry. Yes. So, anyway.
Laughing my socks off right now.
Good.
I'm glad because I like people to have a bit of humor when things are. It's still going great. Let's be honest. It's football, but football can change your moods in a bit of quick way because I think everyone's gonna be like, oh, it's doom and gloom when it's not. Real talk. Can't see when to do much this season. Can't go. Can't defend. We're 4 games in, mate.
We are 4 games in.
We are 4 games in. Let's come back around January, and if we're 10th or 13th, then I could turn around and say, yeah.
I could be wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, last year Sunderland didn't look like they were doing much until November time, and then they stepped it up and they end up winning the playoffs. Not that I'm saying
are we just rolling out my greatest hits now here, guys?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Yes,
we are. It's the greatest.
This man here on someone's stream next week is getting roasted by friends.
I am.
So I will put that in this, so you can all go to that. Wait a minute.
I did actually wonder if they were still online, and I was going to say they're also wearing a maid costume because of me. But
yeah. Oh, I can embarrass Worko. That's fine.
Yes. Oh, they are still live. They are very much still live. Are they still in? Aren't they still in their costumes? Oh yes. Oh yes. Anyway, sorry. Back to Sheffield Wednesday stuff. How do you say Fizz's last name? Bashiru. There you go. Well, Deli Bashiru. Sorry. I know there's many names in between, but his official name on all Sheffield Wednesday programs and the back of their programs. Oh no. Jake, I sent that to you privately. That was a private tape of mine.
You put it in a Discord. You put it in a Discord chat.
I'm glad you only showed them the photo and not what happened afterwards.
Anyway, guys, we're going to end it here because we have been on for an hour.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us this week.
Now.
It just feels like it's been singing.
Wow.
Punk, come on, say it. What? Josh Windass got no pace or Della Bashiru? I can say it now. You want a name I can't say? Ozzy Uragidi. Oh, I can say it now, actually.
Asazi Aragidi.
Sorry off being able to speak. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please like it, share it, all the good stuff, and we'll see you next week for the next episode of Sheffield Wednesday Weekly Roundup.
Thanks there, script from your Dexterity Box appearances or whatever.
Yeah, it's engraved in your head.
Yes. But I will be back. I don't care if you didn't like me being here or not. But I will be back.
Support this man on Twitch because he's going to do really well once he gets all his stuff back up and running. He's very, very funny. Want cake? Yes, I want cake.
Is that code for something? Is that cake? Is that code for something?
Code for chocolate cake.
Do I need to leave? Do I need to leave? No.
Thank you for watching, guys, and we will see you in the next one. And be safe, be courteous to each other, and just remember, have fun because life is too short.
Exactly.
See ya.